John here with Art of the Supplement, and I wanted to invite you to our brand new Facebook group, Art of the Supplement Nation. We've assembled the industry's top experts to bring you the best answers to all your insurance restoration questions. It's on Facebook, not MySpace. Delete that. You don't need MySpace anymore. Check it out. Facebook.
Met Matt at Nanju several years ago. Just really awesome guys as far as giving the information, really making the industry better. They care about the contractors. They care about, really how the whole process works. And then they're very honest as far as when we have a claim, to give us their honest opinion as far as whether or not we want to pursue that or not. And then once they, receive that claim, they really do a great job at following up with the homeowners, making sure that they're representing our company, because at the end of the day, our client is trusting us to put them in touch with the best in the industry.
All right, what's up, everybody? This is lead meteorologist John Choquette here, and yes, as you can see on the radar, we have quite a bit of activity going on right now. It looks like things are really starting to escalate. So, obviously, the title of the video is a very large hail heading towards Rockford, Illinois. For those who don't know, it is a town that is to the north and west, a pretty large town to the northwest of Chicago. So it looks like it's heading towards the Chicago area. We've already had a history of upwards of 3-inch hail here, and this is right along the border of Illinois and Wisconsin, over by Monroe, Wisconsin. We've had upwards of large quantities of golf ball size hail being reported on I-75, and we are just about to go into Rockford. But main reason I switched over to the live coverage before this actually got into the city is we have a surprise little storm taking over here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. This storm just popped up. Everyone here at Hail Trace was pretty preoccupied with this big storm, big monster storm heading towards Rockford and eventually towards Chicago, and we didn't realize that this thing just popped up. This is only a few minutes ago. Let me bring it down to just 2 panels for you guys, a little easier to see. Cedar Rapids is right there in the center of your screen, and this storm just blew up out of nowhere. So this was at about 6:28, and then at 6:34, we're dropping severe hail in the northern sides of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Not even severe warned yet. We're already getting those lower CCs, those lower correlation coefficients. So we just have regular radar here. This is one of our dual pole products that we use. That's the easiest to just kind of visually tell the story about the hail, seeing the hail. So if you see the greens, yellows, blues, that always means you're seeing that big hail. And you just move forward a little bit, and we even see here, look at that, golf ball size hail, just out of nowhere. This thing's not even severe warned yet, and immediately started dropping golf ball size hail on the northern side of Cedar Rapids. And now, look at this as well. I haven't even seen this yet. We have a big hail spike. So when you're looking at, let me get my pen drawn up on here. When you're looking on the radar and you see a spike like this, that always means that the radar is distorting because of the hail that's falling. So, I'm going to immediately delete that. Yeah, so when you looking right there, that's where you're going to be getting that really big hail. So you just seeing that spike, that's always a good indicator that you're seeing that hail upwards of golf ball size. Again, this is on the north side of Cedar Rapids. Oh, crap, we got a 2-inch hail report. Okay, yeah, so this thing is blowing up. So we're in a situation here where the conditions are extremely favorable. Storms are staying fairly isolated, and that's giving us a lot of really big hail. Looks like, yeah, Iowa's getting a good hailstorm right now. Cedar Rapids, we have upward of 2-inch hail. Again, I'm looking at this for the first time right now. Here, north side of Cedar Rapids, so if you're right along State Highway 100 and C Avenue Northeast, you guys just got blasted with golf ball to 2-inch size hail. This storm is now moving off onto the eastern sides of Cedar Rapids and Marion, Iowa, and that's continuing to move to the east. And we have more activity developing off to your west. It looks like another storm trying to form to your north. to the south of Dubuque and to your northeast a little bit. But here in Cedar Rapids, yeah, it's golf ball to 2-inch hail all along the north side of town, pretty much anywhere along State Highway 100 in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. A surprise little storm here, upwards of 2-inch size hail, and apparently we got a tennis ball. Okay, all right, hang on. I got my click chat, so we use this chat for all the meteorologists to talk since we're all working from home. And okay, yeah, all right, yeah, we got some pretty big hail pictures here. Yeah, borderline tennis ball size hail there in the Cedar Rapids area. So golf ball, the 2-inch hail, upwards possibly again closer to that tennis ball marker again on the north side of Cedar Rapids over by Marion. So let's check back in on the Chicago area over by Rockford. Again, this storm, this was the main reason we were looking at here, possibly upwards of 3-inch hail. Let me see. Okay, Kim Pencil's asking about a couple things. Hang on, Kim. I'll get to your answer real quick. Let's pop back over to away from Iowa, and we're gonna pop over here over by Rockford. So these are the storms. We got another storm that formed while we were just talking about Cedar Rapids. So Cedar Rapids storm just happened. Again, if you just missed it, we were talking about hail upwards of 2-inch hail, and just a couple pictures I saw in our meteorologist chat, closer to tennis ball size hail. And that storm just formed very quickly and impacted Cedar Rapids right away. Here in Rockford, so this is Rockford right here. This is the main storm. History of 3-inch hail, mind you. We roll this back a little bit. This thing was going crazy. If you follow our Facebook page, you probably saw me post a picture here. This is where it was dropping 3-inch hail. The thing had a hail spike so big it shot all the way across this back of the end of this other storm. Yeah, right there, like that. It going all the way through the other storm. Is now moving a little weaker than it was before. However, it is still definitely dropping golf ball size hail. And that's going to be moving into the northern sides of the Rockford area in just a few minutes here. Again, the storm, not what it was before. Definitely not dropping 3-inch hail now, but definitely quarter to golf ball size hail. And that's going to be heading towards Loves Park and Latham Park, Mackenzie. I hope it's Mackenzie Park, north of Rockford there, and that's continuing moving to the south and to the east. And even when the storm doesn't look as good at the moment, there is a lot of untapped potential, I'd put it that way, to its south and east. These storms are moving generally in that direction to the southeast towards the Chicagoland area. Got another storm off to the west by Freeport that looks like it is starting to take over. This might end up being the dominant storm. So we have the storm that's heading towards Rockford right now that is looking not as good as it did before, and it looks like the storm off to the west that would be heading straight towards like downtown Rockford would be the one that's going to take over. We also have some more activity trying to form here a little bit closer to Chicagoland itself over by Marengo and Woodstock. We have this storm forming right now, starting to bubble up a little bit here. If I check out a couple other things I'd like to look at. Yeah, it looks like this storm is one to watch. Again, just north of Marengo to the west of Woodstock. This looks like we could be seeing potentially a pretty big hailmaker, and that's much closer. So to give you an idea, here's Lake County. This is in McHenry County, Illinois, just to the north and west of Crystal Lake and Huntley, Cary, all that. So much more people very close to this storm by Marengo that is warned, I believe, yeah, for 1-inch hail. And that it looks like it could strengthen. Again, everything that's been happening so far today. We had tennis balls just to the north of Milwaukee earlier. These storms, the environment today in the Great Lakes region is very favorable for massive hail, and that's what we're seeing so far today. So any of these storms has the potential to drop some very large hail very quickly as they are explosively developing like they are right now. So over by Rockford, the storm kind of looks like it's cycling a little bit. Looks like it's trying to reestablish itself a little bit more as it's heading towards Rockford. This storm over by Freeport to the west, we see a little bit of an arc right in here. This looks a little more promising for a new development Looks like this could end up being our dominant storm pretty soon here. Whenever you get this nice arcing motion right in here. Oh, Lord, using this. Hang on. I do much better like drawing like this here. Yeah, using the, not so much the mouse. When you get that arc there, that usually indicates you have a much stronger storm trying to form. So that's what we're looking at here in the Chicagoland area. Let's just bring it out a little wider, see what everybody is going on. Let's see, somebody go. Please come closer to me. Okay. Get here to Algonquin. I'm trying here, Kim. I'm trying to get this to you. Somebody asked about, I think, Ohio. Off to the east here. So we do have some storms happening in Michigan. Looks like we had a golf ball report way up north, past almost up by the thumb of the mitten there. In what town? What town is this? By Hope, Michigan. Looks like we have a severe warned storm heading towards the west sides of Lansing. That's warned for 1-inch hail right now. I don't have the more in-depth radar up on that at the moment, but we'll see how that pans out. And otherwise, we have one storm that's just been all by its lonesome in West Virginia. That's been going since Ohio, and that's just continuing to move to the southeast through all of the... kill studio mode. Can't you read the comments a little bit better here, guys? Okay, there. And more importantly, yeah, we're getting... Okay, yeah, so we got a tennis ball report that came in Cedar Rapids. I might actually just switch back to Cedar Rapids. It really looks like Cedar Rapids is turning into a very good storm out of nowhere here, guys. So let's go check in on that again. Again, we have quite a bit going on. Things are developing quickly. Oh, how close are we to Rockford? Okay, we got in a couple minutes. I'm going to go check in on Cedar Rapids. Oh, shit. Okay. All right, yeah, Cedar Rapids. You guys are going pound town here. I smell a 4-star map with your name on it right now in Cedar Rapids. We have, so again, if you just tuned in, when we started, this storm kind of was going crazy, like right when I got on here. And again, tennis ball report, and that's in the town of Marion, which I guess is just part of Cedar Rapids area. We had pretty much where that report came in, I would say, is pretty close to where you have that tennis ball size hail. You can see on just pretty much above my head, the blues and greens showing up on the correlation coefficient on the CCs, and all in here. So pretty much if you're along like on East Post Road or over by Meadowview Drive in Marion, which is just part of the Cedar Rapids area, that you had tennis ball size hail there, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was in a lot of different parts of the north side of the Cedar Rapids area. Let me scroll this out a little bit. And while we are talking about Illinois, just looking out here, you can see a hail spike, like I mentioned before, shooting out the back of the storm that is now moving to the southeast of Cedar Rapids. This thing is going pretty crazy here. So Mount Vernon, you're up next. The little town of Mount Vernon, I think you're about to have a bad time with some big hail. And then we also have another storm that has a big hail spike by Fairfax, Iowa. So pretty much the whole Cedar Rapids area, you guys are getting smoked here with some pretty very large hail happening. So let's check back in to Rockford. Okay, we got the storm strengthening as we're getting into the town here. So notice these little, if you see these diamonds showing up, we use these at Hail Trace as a visual aid, a quick visual aid to see the strength of the storm. It's basically whatever the radar hail algorithm pumps out. It helps us kind of give us a quick visual. So when you see these blue diamonds, that means the storm is strengthening, which also means that as we're moving into Rockford right now, we have 2 storms. Looks like we have the one I mentioned before that was to the west of Freeport. This one now has a big hail spike on it. This one looks like it might be taking, oh, holy crap. Yeah, this one is really going to town over this Pica-Tonica. This little town here is getting annihilated. Look at how much we have. That the CCs, the greens and the blues, are pretty much completely dominant. This is the type of storm you see where you're seeing a ton of hail and likely, let me just check a couple other parameters. Yes, likely giant hail as well. So you're probably seeing possibly up to tennis ball size hail in this town of Pica-Tonica. whatever it is. If you guys can put it out phonetically in the comment section to tell me. I know I butcher them all in Texas. I'm butchering them in Illinois too. We'll have a big one in Massachusetts one day. I'll nail that one. And then, yeah, it's only one for $50. What are you, nuts? Come on now. All right, we're definitely seeing golf ball size hail now on the north sides of Rockford. So pretty much right along, what was this, Riverside Boulevard? Yeah, along Riverside Boulevard, you can see lower correlation coefficient. Probably not crazy high quantities of the hail falling here, but there is definitely large hail falling, again, north end of Rockford. So there's downtown. Yeah, I'm just, gotta keep bringing my pen back up. Okay. Get my pen back up here so I can draw and just kind of show you. So here's downtown Rockford for you guys. That hail falling right in here. You can see it pretty clear as day on radar. It's pretty much right above my, oh, thanks Restream. It's right above my my head. I guess if I, yeah, right, literally right above my head there. You're seeing, that's where you're getting that big hail right now. Again, likely upwards of golf ball size hail. Probably not that 3-inch hail that we were seeing a little bit earlier. So when we roll the radar back and we go back to where we had up to 3-inch hail south of Monroe, Wisconsin. I mean, look at this thing. That thing was nuts. You see, I mean, anybody, you can tell. Pretty easy to point out. If I told you what green and blue meant, you probably see that's some crazy stuff going down. So here in Rockford, yeah. All right, this update here a little more coherent. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we got where a 2-inch hail happening by Loves Park, right along was this Route 251 up towards Harlem Road. Again, this is north side of the Rockford area, and then this storm over here by Pecatonica. I know I'm gonna keep butchering the hell out of that name, but this town just got rocked, and that's going to be heading also into Rockford pretty soon here. So it's this pair of supercells that are both producing very large hail, and these are continuing to move to the southeast towards the Chicagoland area in the next hour or so. Over by Woodstock, okay, yeah, no, this thing is blowing up again, so I'm not too concerned about it not dropping big hail. Off to the east, the storm that was developing pretty quickly by Woodstock is not looking super hot right now. We'll see. I think these storms here are they're trying to figure themselves out. You want to get that one centralized updraft, that one centralized inflow for the engine. And we don't have that quite yet here over by Woodstock. Wouldn't be surprised if in Woodstock they had some up to quarter size hail, but otherwise this is looking fairly unimpressive within McHenry County. Keeping an eye on it, again, these things have kind of bubbled up, and once they, you have a bunch of updrafts, a bunch of little inflows for the engine coming in at once, and once that one dominant one takes over is usually when these storms go up and really take control, and that's usually when we'll see the very large hail, at least so far today. So I know I'm getting tons of stuff in here. All right, Derek popped on. If I'm sure Derek's listening. Try to answer questions coming in the comments section below. I'm trying to keep an eye out on what people are saying, but also getting a little into the storms a bit. I know Kim said Rockford seems to be getting hit nearly every year. Yeah, they've been getting some pretty good storms happening multiple times the past couple years. So this is just another one. So here in Rockford, again, next we had another radar frame update. The storm is moving into town now. Looks like it's re-strengthening quite a bit more as we are moving into Rockford itself. So Loves Park, Rockford, you can see, let me just kind of get it, trying to get it above where you guys can see me. But just highlighting it here for you guys. Everywhere in this area where you're seeing those greens and those blues, that's where you're getting that big hail, and that's going to be right up by Loves Park. You're getting that hail. I wouldn't be surprised, 2-inch hail, maybe a little larger than that. Will this make it into southern Wisconsin? Asked Taylor Bell. Yes, there was actually some stuff in southern Wisconsin already. We had 3-inch hail just over the border, just south of Monroe, Wisconsin, from this same exact storm about, I don't know, 45 minutes ago. And then we had storms in Milwaukee itself with some quarter-size hail just north of Milwaukee over by Cedarburg and oh God, what's the other town? There's a bunch of hail happening already, so I'm kind of forgetting the names. But that's all within the Wisconsin map. They had some stuff. We already made a 3-star map in Wisconsin so far today, so you can check that out on Hail Trace. All right, so, oh, yeah, dang it, hang on, I screwed this thing up. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, so we got another update while I'm chatting here, and things are looking better. It's this storm in Rockford, so this is currently right now in, yeah, Grafton. Thanks, Michael. Will Northeast Ohio get nailed tonight? Asked Chris. Possibly. We'll kind of have to just see how stuff in Michigan pans out. If it can stay isolated, what we're seeing right now in Illinois, then yes, Ohio could actually get some pretty large hail. Again, the conditions that are in Illinois right now are also in Ohio. It's all about storm mode. If you can keep it isolated, you can get those big updrafts, that big hail. If not, if it's a squall line, you're going to see more of a wind threat and more minimal hail. So it all really going to come down to just what's happening in Michigan. So, but right now, what's happening in Rockford is we're seeing some very large hail falling. Loves Park, north side of Rockford here. So there's downtown, and you can pretty clearly see, again, like right above where you guys can see the window into my guest room, you can see all those lower CCs. The greens and the blues means you're getting big hail. That means you're getting hail upwards of golf ball, 2-inch hail. I think there's going to be a lot of it falling right now. And based on everything else I'm looking at here, wouldn't be surprised if that hail was even bigger than some 2-inch hail as well. So that's in Rockford. So like good intersection, you're going to be like Riverside Boulevard and Alpine Road, like right there. Quarters reported in Woodstock, says Derek. All right, there you go. I did mention that. I won't be surprised about quarter size hail, and that's what it's looking at. Okay, over to the other storm that's heading towards Rockford as well. Over by Winnebago. This storm is looking a little bit more impressive to me at the moment. You're getting a huge hail spike. So this isn't any precipitation. This is the radar hitting all the hail in the sky, and it's refracting everything. It's almost like the Dark Side of the Moon cover. You know, you get the light and it turns into a rainbow. Kind of a similar idea where it just gets really noisy and it causes the big spike, big scattering of everything. So it looks like in Winnebago, you get that huge spike. You're getting some big time hail, and that's going to be right along Highway 20. And that's heading straight towards Rockford right now. It's going to be, so we got the storm on the north side. This one's going to be downtown, south side, down by New Milford. And somebody asked about Chicago burbs. All right, well, I just did a zoom out here. You can see Rockford, they're heading in the general direction of me getting my arrow tool ready to roll here. Yeah, I know. These guys are heading this way. So, in the future here, that means downstream, we're seeing places like Geneva, West Dundee, Wheaton, Naperville, all of that. That's going to be downstream here in a while. So, right now we're getting blasted in Rockford, but you folks in Chicago, this is coming down the line, and we also have to keep an eye out on this guy over here by Woodstock. We had quarters reported there, but it looks like this guy could possibly bubble up, and that would be on the north side, or by Libertyville and everywhere else in Lake County in Illinois. So, all right. Those of you just joining us, I'm going to kind of reset a little bit. A lot has been going on so far. Thanks for watching us. Go ahead, give us a like, give us a share, all that great stuff. You got any reports coming in, any pictures you're finding, feel free to send them to the Hail Trace page. We love them. We love getting pictures and everything. If you can get locations where that'd be great. We'll put them on our maps as well. If you have a subscription with Hail Trace, we do scour social media. We get those pictures in there to help confirm what's going on. And if you guys send them to us, that just makes our lives a little bit easier sometimes. So if I just kind of do a zoom out here, we see quite a bit of activity that's been going on. One thing in particular that didn't even be in the risk area for today, we had a major storm move through Cedar Rapids. I mean, look at all those golf ball, the 2.5-inch reports that came in. We now have this here watch out there. Cedar Rapids had, again, up to tennis ball size hail, so it looks like pretty major storm. I'm saying, based on no house counts or anything, probably a 4-star map. And then off to the east here, we had, again, major hailstorm Had up to 3-inch hail south of Monroe, Wisconsin, right along the border. That's now impacting Rockford, Illinois. It's really only one for $5. So they're getting pounded right now of very large hail, 2 different storms, and these are all heading towards the Chicago area. Elsewhere, down by West Virginia, we had a one just lone ranger storm moving almost into Virginia at this point, just along the Appalachians, not really impacting too many people. And then we're also seeing hail near more marginally severe around Lansing. So you're seeing some subsevere hail. A 1-inch report came in Grand Rapids, oh Lord. And then up north here, $50 size hail, some golf ball size hail. Detroit, you're downstream a little bit, and everybody in Ohio and Indiana, it's going to probably be after dark here in a little bit. So with that, I'm going to bring it all back home to the Rockford area right now. What's the latest update? Well, it looks like we got some big hail falling. You just kind of follow the greens and the blues. That's where you're going to be seeing that big hail, especially when it's mixed together here with the high reflectivity. So you got the normal radar reflectivity on the right. You got the CCs on the left. Looks like the main focal point of that hail in the last couple minutes here is along Springbrook Road and Shaw Woods Drive in Rockford. Hang on, I'm just going to go ahead. I got to mute my... Okay, hang on. Okay, yeah, hang on one second, guys. I'm gonna mute my work chat. Everyone seems to be handling this okay, but I'm getting lots of noises in my ears. So, okay. So that's where that's falling right now. So that's one area. So this is on the northeastern sides of Rockford, Illinois. Again, latest updates along Springbrook Road and this main highway, Perryville Road. You're getting a large hail there over golf ball size. And then also in Winnebago, you guys just got smacked with some big hail, and now that's going to be moving into the southwestern sides of Rockford, and that's going to move along the south side of Rockford. So Highway 20. This has pretty much been following Highway 20 to a T. It's probably head over to the airport in a little bit here, both of which dropping probably solidly at least golf ball size hail. We'll see how this evolves as it continues to move to the south and to the east. Looks like we have another storm now trying to form over by Freeport. So all this is heading in the general direction of Chicago. So we'll see, if we're going to still be maintaining these big time hailers as they head into the Chicagoland area, or if we're going to, the main show is going to be up here. We'll have to see. Thunder is rolling in Algonquin. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Over here by Woodstock, this storm, we're trying to see if this would get going here, and this is not looking super great. Had some 1-inch hail in Woodstock, and that's in McHenry County, Illinois. Right now in McHenry, the storm probably dropping a brief period of sub-severe hail, but it doesn't really look like there's too much to really speak of at the moment there. And as we just have another update here, let's see, did they update the warning? Train weather spotters saying $50 size hail. Yet somehow everything on radar is saying to the contrary to that. So, you can't get them right all the time, I guess, Storm Prediction Center, right? So here on the eastern sides of Rockford, so the main storm here is right along I-90 now. I-90 and probably just north of, what highway is this? The East Street, probably the East Street exit. And then here in southwestern sections of Rockford, again, just basically riding Highway 20 going into the south sides of Rockford. It's going to go around the loop, basically, go to the south side, go over to New Milford, and over by the airport there within Rockford, Illinois. So, all right, let's see. I'm going to check in the Cedar Rapids area, where we've had almost exclusively large hail reports. The north side of town had a storm just form literally right outside Cedar Rapids and went ahead and blasted them up to tennis ball size hail there. It looks like primarily golf ball to 2-inch hail with even larger hail in there, and that's going to be in Hiawatha, Marion, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and then even to the south over by Fairfax and whatnot. All those areas seem to have got hit pretty good with hail, and these storms are now moving to the south and to the generally east-southeast, and that's going to be eventually getting generally towards Davenport, but otherwise it's a lot of small towns in Iowa that these are going to be impacting and adding to it. Again, likely this is at least a 4-star map right now. Once I'm done doing the video and I talk with Derek and everyone else, all the meteorologists, and I can actually see some pictures and stuff, we'll kind of get that all squared away for you guys as well. And of course, the one report that comes in is a 1-inch report in Rockford. That seems to be the case always at the beginning of a storm. You almost never get the giant hail report right away. And there you go, there's a 2-inch report in Winnebago. So reports are starting to trickle in here a little bit. We had a 1-inch report showing up in Woodstock. I think Derek mentioned that before in the comments section. So reports are coming, the hail's coming, guys. So while we do that, I'm going to do a quick ad break just for about 20-30 seconds so I can just get a drink of water. Mouth's getting a little dry. I'll be back in just a second. So hang tight. Don't worry, you can still see the radar on the screen. I'll keep this. I'm actually going to just kind of loop this, and then we'll be back in just a second. Let me get this all queued up. All right, I'll be right back.
Met Matt at Nadju several years ago. Just really awesome guys as far as giving the information, really making the industry better. They care about the contractors. They care about, really how the whole process works. And then they're very honest as far as when we have a claim, to give us their honest opinion as far as whether or not we want to pursue that or not. And then once they, receive that claim, they really do a great job at following up with the homeowners, making sure that they're representing our company, because at the end of the day, our client is trusting us to put them in touch with the best in the industry.
I'm assuming that was actually the same ad at the beginning, but whatever. Shout out C3 Group and all of our sponsors. Merlin Law Group, Balance Claims, RS Supplement, all of them. Check them out. I know I don't have them in the description below. I got on here pretty quick, so I didn't have time to do the description and everything, but you can go check them out. I'm sure maybe if Derek's still watching, you can tag them in the comments section below. Please support them. Thank them very kindly for always sponsoring our videos, and I'm trying a little harder to get some ads worked in here. So while I was getting some water, we had the storm moving a little bit east. I actually I gotta add a couple counties to this. So the storm's starting to move out of Rockford, so now we're going to be generally heading towards that Chicagoland area, but most likely heading more towards the northern half of the Chicago metro. Well, I guess it would help if I had the right state to Boone County's number. So now the storm's moving into Boone County. I don't have the roads loaded up quite yet, so I just need to kind of do that really fast. So I can tell you guys where it's headed. All right, we're in business here, guys. So we got 2 storms. Again, we've been kind of saying this for a while now. We got 2 storms impacting Rockford. You had the one to the north, one to the south, and to the west. The south one is now hitting a good chunk of downtown Rockford right now. Probably upwards of quarter-size hail in downtown Rockford, but the bigger hail down further to the south. Again, just kind of riding Highway 20 right here, Highway 20 and like Kishwaukee Street. That's where you're seeing that biggest hail. You can even see the greens and the blues. Again, showing where that big hail is at. We can even look and see this. That's indicate. So I wanted it on this panel. Nope. Come on. Stop going on that one. I want you to go on this one. There we go. Yeah. So we had what this one is calling is called ZDR, differential reflectivity. Basically, all it's showing is what is primarily falling. If it's primarily hail, you get that gray in here. For example, in Denver, you get almost exclusively hail falling in your hailstorms, and that is always bottomed out. Okay, we're getting a lot more reports coming in. We're getting the golf ball report showing up, public report via MPing. We got ping pong ball size hail way up there. dang, if that's the case, if that's legit, then we have a big wide swath on the north side of Rockford of at least golf ball size hail. So the reports are starting to come in now. So again, at least golf ball size hail. We were talking about this. You just kind of follow the greens and the blues. And again, I was saying golf ball 2-inch hail. Wouldn't shock me if I look into our meteorologist chat that we have while we're all working from home, and I see a couple pictures of upwards of tennis ball size hail. And then here on the southern storm, that's where Winnebago, you got smacked with 2-inch hail, and I'm willing to bet this was high quantities of hail, so a lot of it falling. So you're not just seeing a couple stones popping down. It's just dumping hail, dumping little sky diamonds. So with that right now, this second storm. So the first storm we're pretty much moved past. This is starting to actually kind of look a little crappier. It looks like the storm that's on the south side of Rockford, it's becoming more dominant. Look how unorganized this one is. It's kind of hard to really pinpoint exactly where the inflow of the storm is, but this one, it's a classic looking supercell, and oh man, oh goodness, look at that. There you go. So this is the frame update. While I was babbling on there, we had looks like New Milford, you're getting blasted pretty good. Again, golf ball, 2-inch hail, probably tennis ball size hail falling, big time hail spike. Look at this down right in here. This isn't any precipitation. This is the radar not being able to handle all that the storm's got to go. So looks like everything's gonna be coming up Rockford right now. We got a big time hail, 2 hailstorms happening. This is probably a pretty sizable map that we're making here. So we got, over the course of this afternoon, we had a 3-star map that's in Wisconsin. That's going to be the north of Milwaukee area. We got 3, 4, whatever it's going to be in Cedar Rapids, a little surprise in Iowa, and then whatever this monster is going to be here in Illinois. We're just going to kind of let this roll and see if we can get up into the Chicago metro, and then that would probably bring that to a 5-star pretty fast if we get these types of storms in anywhere in the burbs. So with that, again, we're seeing likely upwards of 2-inch hail in the south side of Rockford and New Milford, Illinois. 20th Street and Samuelson Road is probably my pick right now. And again, this thing has got big fat hail spike on it. It is dropping some lots of big time hail, and that's going to continue moving to the south and to the east. So I think the one that moved through the north side of Rockford, I think this storm, as it's moving into Belvedere, you'll still see some hail for sure. I mean, I'm not going to put it past you. You're going to see some ping pong ball size hail in Belvedere in a minute. But I think this storm is on its way out, and the one that's in New Milford, that's going to be your new it thing. That's your new big storm that's going to kind of be dominant and continue moving to the southeast. It's got the best info. It's got that best engine pretty much as it continues to just it's just like rocking. I think it's like over the airport right now. Yeah, it's rocking the airport south of Rockford, if you guys know the area. Belvedere, north side Belvedere, you're getting quarter, $50, maybe some ping pong ball size hail. Looks like this thing's kind of petering out, and again, this is the one that's taking over, and this is all generally moving southeast. So we're heading towards Sycamore and DeKalb, and a little bit here once everything keeps going, and then eventually towards Aurora and Naperville in a little bit. Kim Pinsel, green pants for Illinois, 5-star, maybe. It's possible here. I mean, it's setting up from the meteorological perspective. As I'm looking at this, this is setting up pretty nicely to have some isolated storms move into the Chicagoland area. I don't know, in our little competition at Hail Trace, I don't know if anyone picked Chicago. I don't know if anyone picked anywhere near Chicago. So we're gonna have to probably have some art. If we do make a 5-star today, we're gonna have to probably have a little bit of discussion to kind of figure out who ends up winning this little competition that we have in the office all the time. Man, God, the reports. Cedar Rapids, I mean, you guys work Iowa. I think they just got probably their best hailstorm in a while. Like that. Good Lord. When you see almost exclusively this many reports, that means you're getting lots of big time stuff. Humac was possibly ahead. Yes. Yeah, I can jump right back into this for you guys. As the storm is continuing to make its moving generally about east-southeast. So I just need to bring up what I need to bring up here. Okay. I'll pretty much just draw like 2 arrows, almost like a cone of uncertainty for you. Oh, alright. Or this storm. The National Weather Service will basically do it for me. So, again, we're warning this for golf ball size hail. I think we're probably seeing 2-inch hail out of this. The storm, either going to do that or that. So I'd put Sycamore. You're a pretty good shot at this, and then eventually, if I move it, that's heading towards Aurora. That's heading towards Elgin. Anywhere between, I'd say anywhere between I-90, right? I-90 in the Chicagoland area, so like Elgin, down to like I-88. So between those 2 interstates, that's where I think this thing will end up going through. I'd say if I had to draw like a center line from where the storm is and the direction it's heading, it would be doing that. So you just follow the black arrow. That's where I think it'd be heading. So Sycamore, you're probably the next major population area that's going to be at risk here. Well, Kirkland will be the first little town that gets hit, and then Sycamore will be the first larger town, and then eventually somewhere split in the difference between like Plato Center, Elburn, Kingville, and then eventually heading towards Aurora, which I know I think they had a decent hailstorm last year. Everything's kind of blending together. This year seems to be going nonstop. So, all right. Let's scroll out. Let's kind of look around, kind of get an idea. Make sure nothing else is sneaking up on me. We had the storm sneak up on me in Cedar Rapids. I'm just glad I caught it. Okay, we got a 3-inch report in Winnebago now. Damage to siding and cards from hail, largest approximately 3 inches in diameter. You might be seeing a creation of a 5-star map in here. I don't know. Is Derek? I don't know if Derek's still on here, if he's on the phone. Whatever it is. 3-inch hail. There's your confirmed damage for you guys. So I think we're rocking and rolling. I mean, again, not surprised based on what it looked like on radar. Let's go ahead and jump into that for you. Okay, hang on. I'm just double. Okay, let's just check on that. So this is what it looked like over Winnebago. So you see that giant hail spike, that little protrusion out here, a little, like almost like an arrow coming out. That means you're seeing lots of hail. And apparently we had giant hail, and you can even see those CCs. You know, when you're seeing primarily green and blue like that, it's almost a guarantee that you're seeing that giant hail. And again, talking about damage to siding, so possibly some wind-driven hail with that. I haven't really been looking at the wind speeds too much on these guys. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, just based on what we were seeing in Winnebago, that here on the south side of Rockford, so places along Route 20 and over by like I mentioned, over by Milwaukee Street and over by what's this state Route 250, where 251 and Highway 20, where their intersections at. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw tennis balls, maybe baseballs up over there, maybe New Milford, same deal. We had that huge hail spike and everything, so I wouldn't be surprised. You know, we got some real big hail happening here, guys. So if that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised if just Rockford makes this thing a 5-star map. So again, I haven't seen any pictures. What is meteorology chat babbling? You saying stuff? Hang on. Okay. So from what I'm seeing, it looks like we got some stuff. Where's the DFW hail at? I don't know. This is weird that it's hailing up north before it hails in Texas. Yes. This is a very strange pattern. This pattern is much more, if you watched our video earlier, I was saying this is much more normal in June. This is like your classic, you get a lot of hail in the Great Lakes in June type setup, not early April. So, I don't know, 2020, it's already a weird year, right? I mean, you got some weird crap happening. Mother Nature is just like, I'm rolling with this. Let's keep this going, right? So I'm sure none of you guys are really complaining about any big hail in Illinois, in northern Illinois, of all places, this early in the year. So storm right now continuing to move to the south and to the east. Belvedere, also you got some pretty good hail. I think, again, quarter, half dollar size hail, nothing like Rockford. So, and then this is all still moving to the south and east. And it looks like, okay, are we getting something forming? I'm gonna have to switch. I'm gonna have to switch a radar here for a second, guys. I'm moving away from the Davenport radar in Iowa, and I'm switching over to the Chicago radar. So just give me a quick second with my computer. Bring this up. I'm curious about what's showing up here in the Geneva area in Kane County, and over by DuPage County. We got something trying to bubble up, so we got to keep an eye on this, see if anything crazy happens with that storm. I'm going to try to load up some counties as well for you guys so we can get roads once this kind of gets rolling here. I have no roads in the Chicago metro. I'm not ready yet, and it's not the time of year yet for this stuff. Is this headed? This is in Illinois. Yes, Melissa, this is in Illinois. Is this headed to Plainfield? I don't know where Plainfield, Illinois quite is. If you can just kind of give me a general region. Is it near Chicago? Is it near, like, central Illinois? Is it near, like St. Louis? This is, you know, anything that to kind of help us out with that. So, yeah, put in questions. I can answer. Southwest of Chicago. Oh, I'm looking at it right now on my radar. It's possible. We might have to see stuff kind of form up. I see it. McHenry. Hang on, guys. Let me. I just need to grab something in here. Actually, you know what? While I'm doing this, another time for another shout out to our sponsor. So instead of you guys watching me do this, I'll bring up. Have I done Merlin's yet? I haven't. Okay. So I'm gonna I'll do a quick, again, nice little 15-second hit for one of our sponsors we've had since the beginning here, Merlin Law Group. So check them.
I've met with a lot of firms. I've had these situations before, but I haven't found anybody as good as Merlin and as dedicated to what they do. They're not here to make you happy. They're here to win.
Boom. Yeah. So, all right. Got some more roads up here. I can actually see the storm that might sneak up on us a little bit within the metro itself. Again, all it takes is one of these little guys to get going. Over by Woodstock, it looks like we have another 1-inch report. So again, just some generally 1-inch hail from those storms. We'll see if that can really become anything. And well, right now the hail size, the hail algorithm apparently does not like the storm as it's heading towards away from Rockford right now. But it still looks good structurally. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I think it might just be starting to get closer to the radar or something. Or it's weakening. We'll see. I wouldn't put too much stock into the algorithm right now, though. So, all right. So again, we had over the airport, warned for golf ball size hail. We had it up to 3-inch hail fell in Winnebago. Again, wouldn't be surprised we see some tennis ball size hail up by south side of Rockford from the storm, and then it looks like a lot up to golf ball size hail, maybe being a little bigger than that, up to 2-inch hail north side of Rockford. Big time storm over by Cedar Rapids. And then, okay, all right, things are getting a little more interesting. Look, oh, dang. Looks like we had a golf ball. Is that for real? Is that a golf ball report by Lansing, Michigan? In a sea of little hail, possibly golf ball size hail in Grand Ledge, Michigan. And these storms heading towards Detroit are starting to get a little more interesting. So, or by Ann Arbor and everything, this looks promising. So I'm going to have to probably bring a radar up in Michigan as well. I think someone was asking about Michigan, and it looks like we could be seeing more activity getting going here across south central Michigan. So again, the supposed measured golf ball report in Lansing. I'll have to find out how credible that is because we have a lot of subsevere hail reports in there. So it might be a rogue golf ball or it's a good storm, one of the two. And this storm looks like it's trying to get its act together over to the north and west of Detroit. So again, a lot of stuff been going on. And overall, that main risk area is basically untouched. So we'll really see if things kind of get popping here across Ohio. Oh man, what happened to our storm here, guys? Did it just dump its hail and start to die? Oh man, I have to look at some current conditions. Oh, is the fact that we're having this happening in those pings of Rarescope on the Spire Network. Okay, still got a lot of meteorology chats, not super helpful at the moment, so let's just kind of recap. Thanks for the shout. It's gonna be an epic day tomorrow. Yeah, all right. Yeah, hey, Matt's there. So I don't think I have C3 group tagged on this video yet. I have to do it afterwards. But Matt Behrens, he's with C3. He's in the comments right now. He can answer any questions you guys need. I think we might be in for a busy day tomorrow. A bigger market getting hit. A couple big markets getting hit here. So, all right. I'm trying to. Do I need to open another radar up for you guys so we can look into Michigan? Who wants me to look into Michigan? I can bring up Michigan for you guys. Since Iowa looks like it's a little quieter just for the locations. Do we have... Where's the winds coming from? I'm looking to see, make sure the winds aren't blowing in a direction that's gonna... Nah, it's not blowing in a direction for it to kill the storm. I don't know what the hell's going on. Is it too early? Too early for Chicago? I don't think so. I'm getting blasted here with some big hail in the Rockford area. Yeah, so pretty much what I've been looking at. Fuck, you not see my comments. Oh, sorry, PDR Solutions. I'm gonna have to kind of check out. Hang on. My comments disappear after a while, so it takes a second for me to see them, but I can bring them up. I can open it in the browser and see if I can bring up the previous comments. Nope. Don't worry, I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna open up the Periscope stream on my phone real fast so I can answer your questions. Don't worry, I'm not forgetting about you. It's hard to manage them all at the same time. Can I see them? I'm trying to see. Of course, a little challenging, but yeah. If you just bring up the questions again, PDR Solutions, I can make sure I answer them for you. So basically, the thing I'm looking at with this storm over by Rockford, it was roaring here over by New Milford. You can see the CCs, all that green and blue, and then suddenly it kind of started to stretch out, peter out a little bit here. Not as much green and blue showing up. Might be indicative of some weakening happening. Not sure what the deal is. Maybe we have a cold front coming through, or something's kind of jacked up on the radars, but it's not looking as impressive at the moment. So, but we do see some storms trying to form now within the Chicagoland area. So we're gonna have to watch. I mean, it just looks like a junky little shower right now. We're gonna have to watch and see over by West Chicago and see if this is anything that could be anything of significance coming up. Otherwise, we got a whole bevy of reports here in the Rockford area. 2-inch hail, we got 3-inch hail by Winnebago, a lot of quarter hail and larger. So looks like a lot of stuff happening. I mean, again, I haven't even looked at any pictures yet, but I'm assuming we're probably seeing some pretty solid stuff. see, maybe I can bring up like Twitter or something real fast and just kind of see if I can find some hail pics so I can show you guys. There's too much hail happening for me to just search the word hail. Okay, so this was just a quick Twitter search. There you go. That's from Rockford. Looks like all variety of sizes and some big ones in there. So I think we'll be seeing this is probably a pretty good map. We'll see what happens when it gets into the Chicagoland area itself. Yeah, man, there was a lot of hail falling based on what I'm just seeing real quick. Yeah, it looks like pretty good hail too. I mean, I know you guys like to see hail like this. A little bit harder since it is early April in the Great Lakes region. You're more likely to be seeing some pretty big stuff coming in here. So that's what we're seeing from the storm right now. And oh, damn, that's right. I was gonna bring up stuff in Michigan, because it looks like Michigan's starting to see some hail happening. I mean, so we're getting reports coming in like crazy now. They're a little bit delayed in the Rockford area. You get the general gist of it. You know, a lot of big hail fell. The storms have since moved past and a little weaker right now. I don't know if they are what is causing the issue. Oh, dang. Maybe it was the cold front coming through. Nah, cold front's not coming through yet. Is it just the lake? Stupid lake? The lake front or something might have cutting into this a little bit. I mean, I can't. Yeah, it's getting too dark for me to actually see the satellite. So we'll see if this stuff can make it over to Chicago. If something new forms by Chicago. We got to keep an eye on this stuff back in Iowa that had up to tennis ball size hail in Cedar Rapids. This might head generally towards Davenport, and then this is all its own little category here and keep moving to the east. And then Michigan, and Ohio, which was the main risk area. We'll see if this actually pans out or if we end up seeing a bit of a bust. Who knows? We have quite a bit. Looks like this will be going well into the evening. So which radar can I sacrifice? Do I want to keep Chicago's radar up? Yeah, I'm going to keep Chicago's radar up. I think Milwaukee's radar is the one I can sacrifice to go to. I'm gonna move it over to Detroit first. We're gonna kind of check out some Michigan area. Yeah, don't repeat our solutions. I got you. We're going over to Detroit. Okay, all right. So it looks like we have. This is an interesting little feature here, heading towards. What is this? Port Huron eventually, and right now over Imlay City. Looks like we have some pretty good size hail. At least a lot of it. Probably a damn lot of hail falling with this guy heading towards. Imlay City, probably upwards over quarter size hail. Yeah, quarter, $50 size hail doesn't surprise me there. I was curious about this stuff over by Jackson, to northeast of Jackson, Michigan here. So this is off to the west of Detroit. This is the storm that I think I'm most interested in right now. It's got some rotation in it, I think. Yeah, probably some mid-level. Yeah, some mid-level rotation. CCs are pretty low on this guy. I mean, I know I'm picking it up kind of, not even that high up. So there's definitely a lot of hail falling. Some melting going on. So probably, that quarter, $50, maybe a little bit bigger than that. It's more from golf balls. So yeah, upwards towards golf ball size hail range. And then this guy over by Pinckney. Heather's gonna kill me. She's from this. This is her neck of the woods. Pinckney. That one's not looking as good. So that's probably sub-severe hail. But this guy to the northeast of Jackson, that's your storm that I'm gonna have to keep an eye on. This is heading in the general direction of Ann Arbor, and then after that, maybe towards Monroe, back where Eminem's from. Marshall Mathers, throw it out there. Yeah, that's your best looking storm. This is looking like an actual supercell. Off to the north here, this is dropping a crap ton of hail, I can tell you that. I don't know how big it actually is, and it's also in a little bit more of a rural area. Detroit itself looks like you got a storm trying to form right now on top of you, so we'll see if that can bubble up fast enough to have anything crazy happen. That report of up to golf ball size hail by Lansing, I don't know if I can roll the radar back far enough to see if that's legit, or I mean, I see a 1-inch report with it too, so it might have actually been legit. I'm a little area on the west side of Lansing, and probably have to keep an eye on this storm over to the south at Grand Rapids, over by Holland as well. This is all by itself, and that's, I'm assuming, heading towards Kalamazoo. Yeah, general direction of Kalamazoo and Battle Creek. You guys had a really good storm last year. That was a crazy storm at the end of May. So yeah, but yeah, this one by Stockbridge, that's looking like, you know, there's not a whole lot here people-wise, but this seems to be the best storm in Michigan from what I'm looking at right now so far. So just zooming back out, you know, had a lot going on. Cedar Rapids and Rockford both had pretty intense hailstorms since I've been starting this live coverage. I'm going to turn the light on real fast. It's proof I've been doing this a little while. It's getting a little dark here in my home studio, so let's see what's going on right now. We're watching these storms. They're not looking as strong as they were heading towards Chicagoland itself. So will they actually get there, or will everyone be trying to social distancingly work their way through the Rockford area tomorrow? Let's look at it on radar here. Yeah, the storm is not looking super hot. I think the Lake Michigan might be having a bit of an effect on these guys. Fortunately, it is early April. You don't typically see crazy storms like this in the Chicago area, and it's partially because you get a giant body of cold water just to your east that help mitigate storms sometimes. Yeah, I'm going to be cutting the tops off these guys, which would be a real bummer. So, but we'll see. We'll see how this thing continues to progress. We might be able to recover the storm a little bit here as we're starting to head into the westernmost sections of Chicagoland. Otherwise, we got a couple other storms trying to bubble up here, like in Wheaton. I've been watching this one. I'm curious to see if this is going to turn into anything. Right now, not looking super promising at the moment. Otherwise, this storm here in Rockford, absolute crazy amount of reports. And then back by Cedar Rapids is the same deal. We had a tennis ball size hail, up to 3-inch hail in Winnebago. And then I think our focus, if things don't get going in Chicago here, our focus may shift over to the Michigan stuff that I'm keeping an eye on now. We might see some good storms in Michigan a little bit later on. Oh, that's the severe thunderstorm watch. I don't want that. Ah, come on, piece of garbage. Let's get in there. Yeah, so just one for quarters. So that's what we're looking at here so far. Everything's available on Hailtrace as always. So you could have upward, you can check us out. I think they're all separate maps available. We'll see. I don't know. We might have green pants tomorrow. I do not know the answer to that question right now. Our group Hailtrace chat, all the meteorologists at Hailtrace, since we're all working from home remotely, we have a chat, and I know they're all discussing in there as we're going on, and I'll actually take the time to go look as well. I know from just a very fast Twitter search, I was able to find some solid pictures. If you guys want to just see a couple real fast, I'll just bring them up here. This was the one that I was able to find like immediately on Twitter. Like when I searched Rockford hail, that was the first thing that came up. So, and that's for the latest. I'm not, obviously I'm not trying to look for something from 3 years ago or whatever. So Rockford does seem to get hit every couple years. Seeing damaged screens coming in here. Winnebago, huh? Trying to find some Here we go. Here you go, guys. There's a damage picture I found. Here, look at the siding. Big old chunks coming out of the siding. So there must have been at least some wind with this. Again, if you were watching this live and you're still watching when the storm was moving through, I wasn't really looking too much at the wind. I just try to keep it to 2 panels for you guys, so it's not too overwhelming. So, okay, all right. We're trying to rebuild ourselves here in the storm that moved through Rockford, heading towards Sycamore now in DeKalb County. So I guess I can just kind of keep let's just keep stalling for time, right? And then maybe the storm can regain some confidence. All right, let's go over to DeKalb County 37. Load some more roads for you, so I can butcher some more names for everybody. But you get the idea. You can see the map. Yeah, in Kingston right now, I mean, this thing's still dropping probably some quarter-size hail, but it is a shadow of its former self. We'll see if it can get its act back together. Cedar Rapids, good golf ball. Yeah, a lot of it. I'm gonna switch over. I'm gonna show you guys some of the Cedar Rapids hail now. I haven't actually looked at. Holy crap! Oh man! Yeah, I haven't looked at any of these pictures yet, so I'm finding out for the first time too. Yeah, there was some. Good lord! Is our 5-star gonna be in Cedar Rapids? I don't know what the population is. So I don't know how many people got hit. That was just dang. I wasn't expecting it. Was not expecting to see. Yeah, here's some more. It was definitely a lot of it. Man, it looked like it was only big hail too. You can just kind of tell from the perspective within this that, yeah, this Cedar Rapids storm looks like it was legit. Most probably millennial thing I said. See what other trying to see some other pictures here from the Cedar Rapids area. This is looking like definitely an A level storm. I mean, I do not remember how good of a year Iowa had in 2019 for hail, but this is definitely a damn good start. I'll tell you that. So yeah, I mean, that's available. Again, it's all available on our website, hailtrace.com. I'm gonna go ahead and gotta throw in the plug for our product as always. So you can check that out. And okay, all right. Looks like we might be re-strengthened a little bit. If you notice, the colors have changed on our little diamonds here. Before, when it was a sad yellow, these little yellow diamonds, sad diamonds, don't like those. You want them to start getting red, and you really want like the blue or like the black and purple and white ones, the fun colors that we have, the super hot colors that show that where the storm is really taking off. But it looks like we're trying to re-strengthen a little bit here. Again, there's been no storms in this area today, so we have untapped potential. So we have a lot of big storm potential here. A lot of very unstable air. Got that nice urban heat island effect from Chicago. I'm just hoping that the urban heat island effect from the city of Chicago can overpower the very cooling effects of early April Lake Michigan, even knowing it is a not as cold as it usually is. Usually this time of year, Lake Michigan is just starting to defrost, and I know we had a pretty warm winter, so it kept things a little warmer, making today a little more possible. But yeah, here in Kingston, I think Kingston and then Genoa, you're probably seeing some near quarter-size hail, that borderline severe hail. But I think the storm might be trying to re-strengthen itself, so we'll see. I mean, I'm sure you guys probably don't. Yes, there was in Menominee Falls. There was a quarter-size hail earlier, and that is all in the Wisconsin stuff. I was live earlier in the Wisconsin, Milwaukee area. I did coverage for that. We had a storm up to the north that had some tennis ball size hail as well. So it's kind of crazy. I mean, yesterday I wasn't expecting Chicago to really be in play too much, and it turns out the main risk for this managed to get all the way to freaking Cedar Rapids. I thought that's crazy. yeah, they changed the risk area too to reflect that. So they've updated the risk for the rest of the tonight. Okay. I mean, Storm Prediction Center, you can do what you want, but pull that hail risk back to accompany the storm that's happening. Here in south central Michigan and heading into Ohio, this is the area that I'm a little more curious about because we haven't had anything happen yet. But it's all dependent upon the activity to the north, and right now it's looking a little more squally. There isn't a lot of isolated activity, but I mean it also still very clearly has cells within it. So it's really up to how these storms progress to the south and to the east. If we can get it as a line, then chances are you're not going to see too much in the way of hail. But if they can kind of be isolated, then you have the potential that we've seen already. Had some pretty good hail in Mason, Michigan. Palatine. Somebody asking about Palatine. I think pretty much everywhere. Is that in Illinois? Oh Lord, I'm like, you guys are throwing me all over the place here in the Great Lakes region. So yeah, Mason. Where's Mason, Michigan at? Is that up north? I don't know. You guys have been getting hail over a lot of spots. Oh dang. But you're seeing probably pretty good hail right now. Again, this is the storm I was looking at before. We're in Michigan right now. From this storm right here to northeast of Jackson, this is the best looking storm at the moment, south of Stockbridge. Yeah, I won't be surprised you're seeing some up to $50 size hail with that. And the rest of this not too impressive. This is kind of looking like a line. This looks like it'll turn into a wind threat, which is not what I'm sure a lot of you guys want to see. We do map wind as well, but by Lansing. Okay, yes. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, is that where you guys got the, Oh yeah, you got the hail in Mason just now. How big was that hail in Mason? Did you get like, I see there was a 1/2 inch report, but was there a larger hail than that? It looked like it was 1 inch, one and a quarter. Because that is all from this same system here, the same storm moving through. I'm just kind of curious what's coming out of the sky versus what the radar's saying. It's always a good way to get some verification with that. So otherwise here in the Chicago area, things are Is that a spike or no? No, it's not a spike. We're trying. We're seeing more colors showing up. That's what you want to see here, guys. To north of Sycamore. But the evolution of the storm is not what I like to see. So we might be winding down. Lake Michigan might win this battle. We'll see. It's always the biggest question mark we have going into a Chicago event, especially when it's not summertime and we have climatology and the weather on our side with things being a little bit warmer. I'll have to keep an eye on this stuff to north. I think this is moving. It's moving generally towards Davenport in Iowa. So the stuff that impacted Cedar Rapids is generally heading towards Davenport. So anybody in Davenport, keep an eye out for that. We may see something there as well. So that's that's update what we had. I don't think there's a whole lot of crazy stuff happening right now. So I may put a pause on this video. Yeah, there's big hail in Rockford. So I'm going to do a quick recap. We had 2 storms impact Rockford, Illinois. One to the north, one to the south. We had up to 3-inch hail on one of them. Had hail, the one that hit north side of Rockford had 3-inch hail all the way back into Wisconsin. It made it all the way to Rockford, got a little bit past, and now it's looking like storms are a little weaker as they're kind of interacting with Lake Michigan heading towards Chicago. We also had a very significant looking storm in the north half of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Both of those maps are both available on Hail Trace. Not sure if anyone were 5-star yet. I have to discuss with the rest of the team to kind of see how this all shapes up. And we also had a 3-star map in Wisconsin as well, north of Milwaukee. There's some tennis ball size hail earlier. Watching this stuff here in Michigan, We'll see if any of this produces anything significant in a large population center. Still nothing in Ohio. The risk wasn't really for till tonight anyway, and there are I see a couple potential problems with it, with a lot of this being a cluster here in south central Michigan. But hey, we'll be here all evening. We'll be watching. We'll be doing any coverage that we need, and currently watching a storm dropping up to golf ball, or up to ping pong ball size, how it looks like, heading in the general direction of Davenport, and we're just watching the storm as a shadow of its former self, unfortunately, heading, kind of limping towards the Chicagoland area into the burbs. So if anything bubbles up, if this thing re-strengthens or whatnot, we'll of course come back and do more live coverage for you guys. But I think in the meantime, I'm gonna call it quits. I gotta eat some dinner. It's all came up before I got to eat anything. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing the video, liking the page, maybe introducing some others to it. Again, you can check out on hilltrace.com. It'll probably be tagged here on our Facebook. So follow us on Facebook. Maybe find us on Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media you like to follow us on, and give us that like. We really appreciate it. And we'll be back. Turn on notifications through Facebook, or if you got the Hail Trace app, turn notifications on. We will be notifying you if we're live for any other activity that goes on. Otherwise, I'll see you guys later. I have one more ad, and I think that'll be it. So, see you guys later.
We help contractors by the hundreds with all of the administrative burdens that surround handling their construction projects. That means helping them with exactimate estimating, working with them on all the administration of their supplements, and doing the administrative services back office work that enables them to focus on selling, building, and billing.
We see contractors just starting off, maybe they're struggling with the fundamentals of running a construction business. They partner up with us, their process is now defined, they're able to grow their profit margins and actually scale because they're not held back with the burden of dealing with the supplementing process. I feel proud of what we've been able to do in this industry.